The federal government is denying it had any role in funding or supporting a controversial Muslim voting guide published by Laurier University researchers days before the most recent federal election. I spoke about this voting guide when it came to light, a document that was basically telling Muslim Canadians that Andrew Scheer and Maxime Bernier get failing grades across the board and telling Muslims they should vote for the other ones, the ones that are getting passing grades for their positions on combating Islamophobia, hate crime legislation, supporting M103. This document was published and produced by an Islamophobia project at Laurier University, led by Professor Jasmine Zine. On the front page was a big, giant Government of Canada logo, as well as the logo of the Social Sciences and Humanities Research Council, a government organization responsible for dispensing money in grants to all kinds of projects in academic circles across the country. But in this particular case, a spokesperson for the Social Sciences and Humanities Research Council said there was no support given by the federal government to this Islamophobia project. They're looking into it. The logo has since been removed from the archive document, although in many cases too little too late because the election is done. And the big question raised by this whole episode is, why did it appear there on the first place? Now, worth noting is that the SSHRC has actually given a grant worth almost $25,000 to Professor Jasmine Zine's project, and this money has gone towards this initiative of mapping the Islamophobia industry in Canada. That's exactly what they're calling it, the Islamophobia industry. What the researchers contend is a massive industry on Twitter and think tanks and academic circles in the media of people peddling Islamophobia. So it's entirely possible that they just decided on their own, we want to produce this report card underneath the banner of the research we're already doing. But this raises the bigger question of, why is the government funding a research project that is basically aimed at advocating, not researching? This initiative is advocating this notion that Canadians are Islamophobic, that there is an Islamophobia problem that is so bad that we need to be told how to vote, and specifically that Muslim Canadians need to be told how to vote to combat this. That's the very premise of this. So why is this something that's getting government funding? Now, I accept that this may have been a little bit overzealous for Professor Zine to put the Government of Canada logo on this specific report card. There are questions that need to be answered here, such as, were there any terms or stipulations or conditions put on that money that would preclude Laurier from doing something like this? Or was it, here's the money, do whatever you want, and make sure everyone knows the government's bankrolling this? It could be that, or it could be, again, a researcher that wants to lend credibility to this report card that is absolutely shoddily researched, if researched at all, by saying, hey, look, everyone, this has the backing of the federal government. That may be what happens here. I'm going to be holding the government and the SSHRC to account when they say they're looking into this. All right, share the answers. Government should not be funding efforts to re-elect that government or efforts to vote against other people, which is exactly what this report, with its government logo on the cover page, did. We can't pit groups against each other, which is what this government-funded Islamophobia industry research project is doing in the first place. For True North, I'm Andrew Lawton.